To Orla Chennaoui, who's at the Olympic Park for us. So Orla, this is a story you broke to us in the last hour. Just tell us exactly what happened.
Yes, this is a story that came to us from security sources who told us that, as you say, 3 foreign tourists kidnapped in Rio last night. We understand those tourists to be Swedish, and as you say, the details that we are getting are that they were travelling in an Uber taxi at the time. It was on an main express road leading from the Maracanã Stadium, the city centre, to Baja, which is here, the main Olympic area. The Uber taxi driver says that they asked to stop, take pictures, and crucially that road also overlooks the Complexo dos Lins, which is one of the most dangerous favelas in Rio. At that time, when they stopped to take pictures, they were approached by armed men and then kidnapped and taken into the favela. We understand that BOPE, which is the elite troop of the military here, was involved in their release. This went right to the very top. We understand they are now safe. They're back at their hotel. However, this raises serious concerns for Olympic organisers. It's a concern that the IOC are downplaying. They say that the 3 tourists simply stopped to take a picture, wandered off, and the taxi driver then called the police. However, that does not tally with what our security sources are telling us, and the Swedish Foreign Office are currently investigating this as well. Why is this concerning? Well, kidnapping is not traditionally seen to be much of a problem in Rio or in Brazil, despite the recent high-profile case involving Bernie Ecclestone's mother-in-law. Any security briefings that we have received, that the athletes receive, are generally dealing with the threat of petty crime, for example, keeping your valuables safe. And also, we all know of the threat of a terrorist attack. But kidnapping would be something rather different, and it's bad PR, quite frankly, this stage before the Olympic Games. But if nothing else, it is a reminder that everyone here has to just simply be on high alert, because even though we are operating in an Olympic bubble, it's easy to forget that there is a whole world going on in Rio outside of that, and it's about having respect, really, for the city life of Rio and being more aware of that and taking extra precaution. A timely reminder, as I say.
Yeah, Orla, so security, a big issue. One of the other issues that has dominated the build-up is, of course, the Russian doping. But there's been some good news for them today.
There has, yes. 11 Russian boxers have been approved to fight at the Olympic Games by the IOC 3-person panel. Now, you may remember that this panel was set up last weekend by the International Olympic Committee to have the final say on each and every one of the Russian athletes who had been approved by their sporting federations to compete. They'd flown to Rio, and the IOC said, right, we are going to look at each one of these 250 or so athletes in turn and decide whether they're staying or hopping on a plane back to Moscow. This is the first verdict that we have received, and it's ruled in favour of the 11 Russian boxers, so only 239 odd athletes to go. We are expecting more decisions today, however, certainly by tomorrow, by the time the opening ceremony gets underway. So rare good news for the Russian athletes. Many of those athletes will be speaking later because we have Russia House opening. It's a welcoming area, really, for fans and for athletes from Russia. We'll be expecting to hear as well from the Russian Olympic team to see how their preparations are going from their side amid all of these distractions in the build-up to the Games.
OK, Orla, thanks for now.